Welcome to Bonus Topic number 12, B012, and today's topic is called 21 Questions, the Three Realms. So what we'll be doing, we'll be going through the three realms and looking at how life questions are asked and how they are answered. Now, I believe, it's just my personal belief, that all our questions, if asked, are responded to. But they're responded to in A, the format that we've asked them, and B, depending on what source that we've gone to. There's a quote, knock and the doors shall be open. Ask a question and it shall be answered. So the thing is, and the purpose of this short video is to go over the three types that I've identified. And they deal with our conscious realm, where you'll be asking questions more like, how do I do something? Then the unconscious realm is more along the lines of, should I do this? And then the unconscious realm will deal with more of a path resolution. What will happen, if I do this in the future? Where will this path take me? So asking questions about our personal lives and our future, it goes back a long ways. People have used wishing wells. They've gone to support groups to get answers to questions and guidance. They've used pendants and tarot cards and I Ching, all of which I personally have used and found them, in one way or another of benefit. But notice that they're very common and they go way, way, way back in history. And you yourself may have used a form of oracle to get answers to questions. So the thing is, I believe that there are three primary ways of asking questions and of getting answers. One is that we can get detailed instructions or answers to things, and these detailed instructions are only as accurate as the level of detail and accuracy of our questions. So if we ask someone how to bake a cake, they will say, basically, you need flour and water, maybe an egg, and, maybe some spices. But if you ask someone how to bake an apple upside down cake, you'll get specific instructions on how to do that. The other type of answers and questions that we are confronted with are more in the way of yes, no. Is this red? Yes. Is it purple? No. Is it, can I eat this? Yes or no. So these closed-ended questions elicit closed-ended answers. And finally, the third type is what I call signs or symbols. And signs and symbols are more always in our present world, or they're all around us. We just need to be able to observe them. So there's not so much a question we ask, although you can. It's more the quest, our life quest, and other signs and symbols to show that we're going on the right path. And the fourth possible type of answer and question is the void. I'm not going to go into those today. That's for another topic area. So I'll leave the void alone for now. So when we're in our conscious realm, we can ask questions on how do I do specific things, and we can get very, very, very detailed, specific step-by-step instructions. And they're very end result oriented. If you do these specific things, you will get these results. I sometimes like to think of them as being goal oriented. And as I mentioned before, a support group is a really good example of that. You go to a support group with a specific issue that you need help with. And there's all kinds of support groups. It could be a friend. It could be a loved one that you go to. Now, here's the trick with conscious realm questions. the answers are only going to be as detailed as your question. Right? They're only going to be as relevant as your question. So that's number one. And number two, if you ask questions but do not listen, then people will stop responding. Then your conscious realm will stop responding. The more you pay attention to the answers you're getting, the more your conscious realm will respond to you, and the more responsive it will come. And the third thing is that if you get the answers to the conscious realm type instructions and you don't follow them, there too that you will get a similar kind of result where your conscious realm will be less responsive. It won't stop completely, but it will get kind of non-responsive. And you can see this in a friend. If you have someone that has been a good ally and has been giving you advice, and you really haven't been following the advice, well, what do? Well, they kind of stop giving you advice. So the key with the conscious realm, ask specific questions. The more specific, the better, and listen and follow. The second type is what I call the unconscious realm. And here you get yes-no type answers. You have to ask closed-ended questions, and you get very specific closed-ended answers, i.e. yes or no. And you can follow a progression now with this. I used to play a game as a kid, are you getting hotter or getting colder to a particular topic? So you would ask someone a question and they would say, oh, you're getting colder. You ask them another question, oh, you're getting warmer. Oh, you're really warm. Oh, now you're hot. So this kind of zeroing in with very logical and progressive asking questions. Now, there's a technique called Bodytalk that I've studied, and I highly recommend you check it out. Bodytalk can be used with humans or animals or plants. And the way it works is that the subconscious will always answer, and it will always answer truthfully. This is the principle of a lie detector test, right? It's very hard to fudge lie detector tests. So how does that work? So here in this picture, you can see that the practitioner is holding on to this young boy, and she is asking a specific question and a series of questions to figure out what is going on with the health of this young boy. The body responds yes or no, specifically to all the questions. Now, what's interesting about Bodytalk is that the person doesn't need to know the answers consciously. Your subconscious will answer for you. The last time I heard was that the Australian Health Department recommended Bodytalk for people in the field, for emergency response people. Because if they show up at a scene and someone is unconscious, how do they know what's going on with them? Well, they used to. I don't know whether they still are. I should check into it. But they would use Bodytalk. They've all been trained in Bodytalk. And they would just hold the person and ask them a question, and they would understand whether the person is responding with a yes or no. This is true if you are very, very observant and you ask someone a question in a yes-no type frame. Their body will tell you the answer, even if they answer the opposite. Right? So you can tell. I'll give you an example. If you ever tried to shake your head no and say yes at the same time, it's pretty hard. You can do it, but you really have to be conscious and do it. So your body subconsciously always wants to give you the correct answer. Okay? The third area is the unconscious realm. And the unconscious realm doesn't give sort of a detailed cookbook type recipe to answer your question. And it doesn't give you a specific yes or no, but it will give you signs and symbols. And it can be kind of mysterious in a way. I like to think of it as walking through a forest. And if you've ever gone in a walk through the forest with someone who's very attuned to nature. They will point things out to you that you may not even have seen. You may be walking on a very precious plant and not even know it. So an example of unconscious realm, greater realm type of questions and answers would fall in the category that I feel it falls in the category of something like the I Ching, the tarot cards, palm reading, tea leaves. These are things looking at signs and symbols to give you information about your reality. So the key is here, pay attention to the type of question you're asking, and then that will give you an idea of where to look. Also, pay attention of whether you're asking yourself deep personal questions in your subconscious, in which case ask yes-no questions and expect yes-no answers. If you are looking for a greater thing, so is my path correct? Is my life journey correct? And you want to look for signs and symbols, you will be presented with signs or symbols to indicate whether your path is the right path. It's up to you to be observant and watch them. Okay, now we could go on a long time with this, but pay attention to it. And, if you have other examples of the types of questions we get, and the types of answers that are subsequent, let me know. Reach out to me. But this should give you an idea that if you're looking for answers, pay attention to how you're asking the question and where you're asking the question from.